Hello, everyone. Hello. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can see me. Welcome, everyone. Hello. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. I'm so excited to be here with each and every one of you. Yes! Beautiful. Welcome, Susie. Hello, Susie. Hello, Yan. Hello, Jessie. Hello, Janelle. Hello, welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with all of you today. Good day. Happy rising. Let me know who is tuning in, where you're tuning in from. And let's just start with a grateful heart by sharing, what are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for? I am a firm knower and believer in the power of gratitude. And the truth is, forgive me. I am going to turn off my phone so that doesn't happen again. Okay, that's now off. I am a true believer and knower that gratitude can shift anything in our lives. And so truth is, we can't always control what's happening externally, but we can always control what's happening internally. And the power of gratitude will help us in any state that we're in. So things might be complete chaos on the external. We may be navigating some really hard challenges externally and in the world. But there's always something to be grateful for. Always something to be grateful for. You can be in the biggest struggle of your life, and you can have financial issues and relationship issues and health issues, and the list goes on. But there's always something to be grateful for. Even if it's simply, I'm grateful that I have the hair on my head. I'm grateful for this curly hair. I'm grateful that I'm still breathing. I'm grateful that I can still go for a run in the morning. There's always something to be grateful for. So I would love for us to just start with our grateful heart by putting in the chat, what are you grateful for today? And also let me know if this is your first time tuning in with me or not. I'm grateful for insight time. Well, me too, Janelle, me too. So deep breath in, deep breath out. I have a lot of energy, so I'm also pregnant, and no one tells you, or at least no one told me. I don't know if anyone told any of you mamas who had babies before, how out of breath you get when you're pregnant. I get out of breath just from breathing. So I might have to take a couple more breaks because I do expel a lot of energy. But I'm just so grateful to be here today. So thank you everyone for joining today. If this is your first time joining me, I am Genna Rose Giannetti. I go by many titles and many labels, but essentially I am a love leader. I am on a mission to bring unconditional love to this planet. I coach love, I teach love in many different forms. So today we're talking about love in the context of conscious communication and how we can bring more love into our communication, into our relationships. Thank you for all the hearts. And how we can be more of a loving being. I truly believe, it's my core truth within me, that love is who we are. Love is who we've always been. Love is who we always will be. I believed in the core of my being that when we talk about things like a higher power, or we talk about spirituality or God or goddess or Allah or whatever you associate with, higher realms, that energy is only love. It is love. And so I am on this mission to bring love back into this planet, back into our being, back into the environment around us. Because when we can bring love back into it, then we can feel connected to our spirit, to our soul, to our passions, to our purpose, and we can have more peace. So that's my mission. Thank you for joining today. DM, hello, DM. It's been a while, and thank you. I am grateful for love and connection too. Beautiful, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. So today we are talking about conscious communication. And if any of you have saw, I just launched today, just in time for me to do this live. I didn't know if the course was going to publish in time for this live, but I launched a course last week, Unlocking the Power of Conscious Communication. And it launched this morning, so it's on our dashboard, or my dashboard. So if any of you guys are a premium member and you enjoyed today's workshop, then you can check out that course. It's free for anyone that has the premium. And whether you have the premium or you don't have the premium, I'm still going to give you some tips and tricks and encouragement and love on how you can have better conscious communication today. So either way, it's going to benefit you, it's going to help you, and it's going to be very loving. So I want to hear your gratitudes. I see 24 people are here. Welcome, Ray. Welcome, Jessica. Welcome, Rebecca. Shana, hello. Jessie, hello. Dashi, hello. Susie, hello. If I didn't say hello to you, hello, Christine. If I didn't say hello, it doesn't mean I don't want to say hello. It's that I can't see your beautiful picture in the bottom. Hello, Corlina. So, everyone, I'm really excited. So if this is your first time with me, let me know. And this is how my lives usually work. So I am about to lead us in just a real quick opening meditation. It'll be less than 5 minutes, 1-2 minutes, just to calm our bodies, just to bring us into the space, just to bring us into unity, into connection. Although we aren't physically together, energetically we are together. So I'm going to bring us into the space together. Followed by doing that, I'm going to bring us into our talk of today, which is unlocking the power of conscious communication. And then I will open it up to a question and answer if anyone has questions. And then I will end in a longer meditation. So that's how everything's going to work today. So welcome, everyone. Hello. Yes, I'm grateful for peace in my life. You know, Susie, I was just writing today how, peace and love it can only be found on the inside. If we keep looking for abundance outside, we're never going to feel that abundance inside. It can be temporarily. If we look for love on the outside, we're never going to feel the love on the inside. If we look for or wait for the world to be peaceful for us to feel peace, then we're never going to find peace. It has to start internally. It has to. And when you have internal peace, when you have internal love, when you have internal abundance, then you will see it on the outside. And truth be told, you won't even need it on the outside, because what we really want is just the feeling of it. So thank you for bringing awareness to that. I was journaling about that this morning. So it was a beautiful synergy. I know Chad Ward got me there so far. Yes, beautiful. All right, guys. So we're 10 minutes in, so I'm gonna dive right in. So I'm gonna ask everyone to just close down your eyes for just a moment. And take a deep breath into this moment. And take a big sigh out, allowing your shoulders to just relax. And allow everything around you to just silence. Allow yourself to let go of anything that happened before this moment. And allow yourself to let go of anything that will happen after this moment. And bring yourself into presence of this moment. And notice that in this moment, No matter how chaotic your day has been so far, no matter how worried you might be or how anxious you might be with how things are going in your own inner life right now, notice that in this moment, all is calm. Notice that in the breath, there is peace. So take a deep breath into this moment and take a big sigh out, relaxing deeper and deeper, finding calm in the presence. And take one more deep breath in through your nose, allowing your shoulders to rise. And on the exhale, allowing them to fall. And allowing any residue of before this live to just vanish. And then I want you to imagine that we are all gathered together in a beautiful conscious circle. For we are not physically with each other right now, but energetically and spiritually, we are all here. We are all united in this live, in this workshop, in this moment. So just imagine in your pineal gland that we're all here, supporting each other, respecting each other, loving each other, and honoring each other. And take a deep breath into this. And take a deep breath out. And just notice what it feels like to be truly supported. And then just breathe into this love that we are creating together. Breathing in love and breathing out and sending out love to everyone that's here, to everyone that is gathered. Breathing in love and breathing out and sending love. Appreciating everyone for showing up just as they are, and all of their emotions and their feelings, their happiness, their sadness, their anger, their frustration, their joy. Have gratitude for this conscious community that we've created. And take one more deep breath in, breathing into this. Breathing this community and support into your being. And breathing out. And if you so choose, you can call upon wherever you find your faith to guide you through today's workshop, to guide you through today, to guide you through your life. And then finally setting an intention for this moment, for this workshop. What is it that you intend to learn? What is it that you intend to receive or gain? What is it that you intend to feel? Before we can receive any kind of abundance or gift or blessing or message, we must ask and intend for it to come. So breathe into this. And then breathe out. And whenever you are ready, slowly coming back into the space, into your body, wiggling your fingers and your toes, opening up your eyes. Notice what you can heal. Notice what you can taste. Notice what you can smell. Notice what you can feel. And notice what you can see. Welcome back, beautiful souls. So let me know how you feel now versus how you felt at the beginning. So beautiful, everyone. So I'm really, really excited for today. And I'm really excited to talk about conscious communication. So if you're just tuning in, today is a little sneak preview, a little preview tips, tricks, encouragements on how we can communicate more consciously. The truth is, our communication is everything. Every single thing in our life is a relationship of communication. We are constantly communicating with everything around us. Not only are we communicating with the people in our life, but we're communicating with our environment. We're communicating with our technology. We're communicating with the trees and the energies. And how we communicate, how effective we communicate, in my belief system, is the success of our life. And so often, our communication can be off. It can be a little wonky. How often in your life, and please interact with me, please talk with me, please communicate with me. We're talking about communication today, so please communicate with me. But how often in your life do you feel misunderstood? How often in your life do you feel like you're talking and you're not being heard? You're not being understood. Maybe you're not being loved or respected in your words. And how often in your life do others maybe tell you that they don't feel heard? They don't feel respected? How often do you feel like you are communicating with someone, yet something's just not connecting? It happens more often than we think. And it's often because of the way that we're communicating. We talk about this thing called love languages, which I'm all about the love languages. I'm all about the love. But those literally communication languages and how we communicate with the world is very, very different. Obviously, we have verbal communication. I'm verbally communicating with you guys right now. But we also have written communication. You guys are writing me, right? We have conversation that we're reading. We have the communication of the energies that are surrounding us. And so there's many different ways that we are communicating, and there's many different ways that we are being communicated with. And very often, very, very often, the way in which we communicate to the world is not how we are being communicated back with. Does that make sense? So if you're familiar with the love languages, and this is actually something I didn't talk about in the course, but I should add it to the course, is that just like there was love languages, if you're familiar with love languages, and my love language is words of affirmation and physical touch. And, if you're familiar with the love languages, maybe your partner's love language, like my partner's love language is acts of service. The way in which I'm going to feel loved is by him telling me he loves me with words of affirmation. I'm going to feel loved when I'm cooking in the kitchen and he comes up and he hugs me behind and he kisses my cheek. That's how I'm going to feel loved. But so often, just like the love languages, we're trying to give love in the way we receive love, and then we don't feel loved. So for example, I know my husband's love language is acts of service. So if I keep saying, I love you, 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 Levi, that does not, I'm telling you, it does not make my husband feel loved for me to constantly bomb him with I love yous. And trust me, I bomb him with I love yous all the time. But what makes him feel loved is by me making him pancakes like I did this morning, by cleaning the house, by bringing him a cup of tea, by going to the store and picking up something that I know that he mentioned earlier he needed without asking if he needs it. So just like the love languages, we often have miscommunication in the way that we give and receive love. We have different communications in how we communicate with the word and how we need to be communicated with the word. Does that make sense? I just want to pause here. So, Christine, I feel like there are some people who really get me and others who aren't open to really hearing me. Yeah, absolutely, Christine. And so the purpose of today is to help you so that you can really feel that everyone's hearing you, or the majority of people are hearing you. So beautiful. So we live in this world of communication. And so I'm going to talk about a couple of different parts of the course today. And the first part is just how much communication is important. And we've already addressed that a little bit. It's our connection. It's our connection with the world. It's connection with everything around us. And the difference in communication styles. So I talked about communication languages, which it's funny because we're literally speaking a language to communicate. But those different communication styles. And so some of those are verbal communication, like I'm verbally communicating with you right now. There was nonverbal communication. There was written communication, like Christine, you just wrote me and told me how you felt, right? There was communicating through listening, right? Sometimes our friends or, families, they just need to talk. They just need to vent, and they don't need advice. They don't need encouragement. They just need to be heard. My friend, my neighbor, she actually texted me yesterday, and I just launched this new program for New Year's, new year, new you. And this program is all about helping people to accomplish their goals and their dreams and to hold them accountable for that. And anyway, so she texted me yesterday, and she knows I've launched this program, and she said, I need you to hold me accountable for me to stop giving unsolicited advice. She said, I do it all the time where people are talking to me and I just give advice without asking if they want my advice. And so just listening is a form of communication, and it's a very deep form of communication. So often we think we need to communicate in response verbally, but often the other person just wants to be heard. Often the other person just wants to be listened to. And that's it. And then we have visual communication. So this is like communicating through art, right? If you go to a museum, I love going to the art museum, right? There's maybe like a little panel that will explain the artwork. But other than that, you have to interpret what the painting is saying, what the drawing is saying. If you go to a museum, you have to picture not only what is in front of me right now, but what are they communicating? What were they not only trying to express to me in this painting or this artwork or this structure, but what were they thinking? What were they feeling? I got married in September, and we eloped in Italy. It was fantastic. And so we went to Rome, and who's ever been to Rome, who's ever been to the Vatican, put it in the chat. And while we were there, if you go into like the Vatican, it shows, oh my goodness, why am I blanking on his name? Oh my goodness, I know his name. Michelangelo. It shows all of Michelangelo's, pictures throughout. And if you've ever gone to the Vatican, you look up and they talk about how Michelangelo had to paint like this. He had to literally paint with his neck up, painting the ceiling. And so I'm curious, anyone who's been there, who knows what I'm talking about, there was a very odd piece, a very odd piece in this whole mural that Michelangelo painted. And it's this skinned part of him. It's this, look it up. I don't know what you would search, like maybe Michelangelo's skinned portrait or something. But it's this one piece where he paints himself just in skin with no body, like this, just like raggedy skin. And the interpretation of that I found afterwards, you look at this and you think, this is really morbid. You look at it and you're like, this does not align with the beauty and the elegance of the rest of this Vatican and this, it doesn't align. But what he was communicating, when you look into the history, was that he was painting this for I don't even know how long. I'm not a historian, but he was painting for so long that he felt dead in his skin. And he felt completely, what would I call it? He felt like it took all of him. I'm using my own words, but, and so my point is we have visual communication of what is the artist illustrating to us. What are they showing us? And so many people, many artists, that's how they communicate. I went on a little tangent there, but I hope it's educational. And then we have telepathic or subconscious communication. How often in your life are you not even speaking a word to someone, yet you can look across the room and you know what they're thinking? You know what they're feeling? You don't need them to tell you. The closer you are to someone, the more this happens. Me and my husband can be in a crowd, in a party, and I can just look at him and I'll know exactly what he's saying to me. This is the subconscious realm, the telepathic realm, the spiritual realm. It's speaking without voice. And it's powerful. It's extremely, extremely powerful. Is this resonating? Let's just do a quick check-in. And so there's a lot of different communication styles and impacts on that. And so we have to become an observer of these communication skills. So for me, beautiful. I'm so glad, Christine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So for me, I'm a talker. If you can't notice, I'm here on, I talk and I talk and I talk and I talk. And this is how I communicate. And I also have a very, what would I say? A very large part of me that communicates through the spirit realm with, guides and with the telepathic realms and with the subconscious realms. And so that's how I communicate. My husband, on the other hand, he's not a talker. He's not a talker at all. When we first got together, it was so funny. One of our first arguments we actually got into was because he was mad that I didn't know what he was thinking. I swear, our first argument, it wasn't a big one, but he was so frustrated at me because he didn't want to talk and he was mad that I couldn't read his mind. And you have to, and I remember telling him back then, it's a long skill. The longer you're with someone, the more your frequencies and your vibrations merge together. And the more that you are able to communicate on that subconscious, non-vocal realm. But so we all communicate differently. And so many times there's a lot of difficulties in our communication because we have fear of communication. And let's be completely open. Let's be completely honest. But how often do you feel to communicate? How often do you feel to communicate your truth? To be open, to be honest. You want to be open. You want to be honest. You want to tell the truth. You want to speak your mind. But you have a feel of doing so. And so often this is not always, but very often it is associated with our childhood. It is associated with our upbringing of how we were communicated with as a child and how we were told to communicate as a child. My grandparents used to tell me all the time that growing up, they were told that kids were to be seen but not to be heard. Who's ever heard that expression? And so I remember my grandma telling me that it silenced her. My grandma wasn't a very big verbal talker. And so, these kinds of things from our childhood and growing up, it ends up causing us feel to communicate our truth, to be open, to be honest. And so we have to learn to navigate these feels. We have to learn to embrace our authentic, honest communication fearlessly without worrying about how the person's going to respond or how the person's going to react. And some of the ways to do this is to first off, be able to be honest and authentic with ourselves about what we need, what we want, what our desires are before we actually communicate it outwardly. The other piece is to actually allow yourself to be real. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and to be naked. And to allow yourself to be transparent. There's often fear of communicating our truth, and I see the comments, but I haven't read them yet, so I will get to them, I promise. But, there's benefit to us communicating our truth. And, one is deepen connection. When we can be vulnerable and we can be honest and we can be open, it deepens our connections. It helps us to understand ourselves a little bit better. It reduces our own levels of stress and it encourages our growth. It really, really does. And very often, the person who we end up hurting in not communicating our truth and not being our authentic self and not speaking our authentic voice, it's never actually the other person that gets hurt. It's us that gets hurt. This concept of someone cheating on you, for example. I've been there, not in this relationship, but I've been there. I've been cheated on. And it's painful. And it hurts. And often, the true reason that being cheated on hurts so bad, it's not about the other person actually cheating on us. It's the lack of trust and honesty in the relationship that our partner could communicate with us that they were having desires, they were having temptations, they were having needs. That's why it hurts. When me and Levi when we met, our relationship we started off as just best friends. And, we went through this navigation period where he was my best friend, but I was still dating other people. And I never felt shame. I never once felt shame to come to Levi and say, I went on this date, or I met this man, or I had this kind of intimacy with this man. I was always open and honest with him in that. And I was able to be open and honest with him because we had a foundation of understanding. And so it never caused any problems in our relationship. Now we're monogamous and, all of that. But it's never when we're in our authentic honesty, without shame, and we speak our truth, then the other person is less likely to be hurt. And so often the reason that we don't want to speak our truth, the reason that we're so fearful to speak our truth, is because we don't want to hurt the other person. We don't want to cause them pain because we're good people. So we have to get to this place where we can first be honest with ourselves about, what do I need? What do I want? What do I desire? To ourselves. And then be able to communicate with others honestly, with empathy and love, what it is that we need and we want. And I promised, almost always, I won't say always, but almost always, there was understanding in it. And with that being said, on the opposite end, if we want to be someone that wants to be honest with our voice, if we are someone who wants to be authentic with our truth, then we also have to give the relationships in our lives room for them to be honest, for them to be open. So for example, I gave you the example of when I first met my husband, I met Levi, I was open and honest with him about me dating other people. I never lied, never once. And I also had to be in a place of being open and understanding for his truth, for what he desired. If he wanted to go out on dates with other people, which he actually never did, but he had his own quirks, we'll call them his own quirks that he did. And I had to allow room for him to be honest as well. And so often those problems in relationships, because we aren't able to hold our partner's raw truth. We're not able to hold if our partner comes to us and says, hey, I was at work today and I saw this really beautiful woman and I started to have a little bit of desire. Nothing happened, but I just wanted you to know. We have to allow space for our partners, our relationships, our friends, our family to be open and honest as well. And we have to have the security to know that just because if my husband ever comes to me and my husband ever says to me, Genna, I'm having desires, I'm having fantasies, I'm having, these temptations, that I can hold it. And I'll get vulnerable and I'll get open and I'll get honest. And I'll share that, yesterday this actually came up, is I am someone that I personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I personally am not a fan of the porn industry. And I think that depending on how you use porn, I feel, this is my own thing, I feel that depending on how you use porn, it can often take away from your relationship. That's my own thing, okay? There's no right, there's no wrong. And so yesterday, I went to work and I came home and my husband had shared with me that he didn't look at porn, but that he looked at a picture of a woman in lingerie. And because I'm pregnant right now and because my hormones are a little bit, up there was a moment internally, not externally, but there was a moment internally where I felt uncomfortable. Because here I am gaining weight. I have this big pregnant belly right now. And I'll be honest, I'm not feeling the sexiest I've ever felt in my life. And so there was a moment yesterday where I felt a little insecure of, oh, he's looking outside of our relationship for something. But then I had to remind myself that this relationship is a relationship with the core value of freedom. And this relationship is a relationship of honesty. And so even though I didn't actually prefer it, I was open to it. And instead of judging him or making him wrong, I became curious. And so that's another thing you can do, is you can become curious of, oh, well, tell me more. Show me, well, what kind of lingerie do you like? What was interesting to you? And what did I do in response? I ended up I said, show me the lingerie you were looking at. And we ended up buying me the lingerie. I said, well, how about we buy me that? If you like that, let's buy me that. So those ways in coming back to this communication, that we have to be able to be open on both ends with our communication. And it makes for a better relationship when you leave space for both partners, both relationships, to be in their authentic truth and honesty. So that was a huge tangent. I just went on speaking your authentic truth and open and honesty, but I hope that it helps. I'm going to read through the comments real quick, and then I'll keep going. Good morning. Congratulations on your marriage. It's been a while since I've listened to one of your lives. Yay! I'm so glad. Hi from India. Hello. Depends on the safety of the person I'm with. And absolutely, Susie, absolutely. It's about safety. You have to feel safe with the person that you're with. And I also want to reflect back at you that this feeling of safety, and this is, Susie, I'm like bubbling right now at this, because the truth is, and this is something that took me a long time for me to learn, is that safety is actually no one else's responsibility. We have to feel so internally safe within ourselves that it will externally, we will feel safe. And that's not always, right? We can go down the street or, there's unsafe things in the world. But, back to me and my husband, I talk a lot about this, and I hope that it helps. But, we had this affirmation for each other for 5 years. Well, his affirmation for me was, I will keep you safe. It was this tantric practice we did 5 years ago. And we had to say these affirmations to each other. And in this practice, whatever affirmation resonated with you the most is what you repeated back to your partner. And so this was 5 years ago. My affirmation that really hit me the most was, I will keep you safe. And so that became his mantra to me. I will keep you safe. I will keep you safe. And his mantra that I told him that really hit him the most, his core wound, was, I will accept you. I will accept you. And so it's been this like core value, core dynamic in his and I's relationship of, he vowed to keep me safe, and I vowed that I will accept him. Yet underneath it, truth is, he can't keep me safe. There may be a moment, well, maybe someone burglarizes our house, and in a moment, maybe he can keep me safe. Maybe he can defend me. Maybe he can protect me, right? Maybe he can keep me safe financially. But it's in a moment. And just in the same with this acceptance thing is, it's not my job, even though I tell him I accept him, and even though I love him so much, it's not my job to accept him. It's his job to accept himself so fully that whether I accept him or I don't accept him, it doesn't matter. Because he's filled with so much love, self-love of acceptance, that when I accept him, it's a benefit. The same with the safety piece, is that it's not his job to keep me safe. But when he does keep me safe, when he does defend me, when he does provide, I don't need it, but it's a benefit. Okay, sorry, I went on another tangent. So let me know if that helps. I am very reluctant to speak up. I grew up where kids were seen and not heard. Yeah, I feel that. Also, I'm introverted and very awkward verbally when I try to be real. Yeah, absolutely, Karen. And so I think for you and for anyone that's experiencing this, because I know so many people are experiencing this, it comes back to healing this part of this childhood of kids were to be seen and not heard. And it's retelling yourself the story that no, Karen deserves to be heard. Karen, little Karen, deserves to be heard. Her truth is good. Her communication is beautiful. And it's you going back to little Karen as big Karen and looking at little Karen as a child and saying, I see you and I hear you. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your truth. Tell me, how was school today? Tell me, how are things going with your family? Tell me, what makes your heart sing? Going back to those roots, going back to little Karen, going back to little you, and giving them a voice. Give them the voice that was taken away from them as a child. I was once in a very abusive relationship, 10 years ago. And I left that relationship with bruises all over my body, with 2 black eyes, bruises all over. And I had to go back, and I stunned my voice for a long time. And I had to go back to that version of me at 24 years old. And I had to give her voice back, because no one gets to take away your voice. No one gets to take away your truth. No one gets to take away your honesty. It is yours. And it is beautiful, and it is right, and it is good. And so I want to encourage you all to speak openly and honestly, even when it hurts, even when it's uncomfortable. Okay, I'm going to open a window real quick. I'm getting a little hot. I'll be right back. Okay. And I'm going to read through these comments, and then I'm going to breeze through the rest of this communication stuff. Because it's so good, but we're almost 15 minutes in now, so I just want to make sure everything gets done. Also, not a fan of the industry. Communication's key. Same feeling from the industry, by the way. Great lingerie turnaround. Your pregnant body is to be honored as though it's brilliance and beauty. Oh, and absolutely. And he tells me all the time. He tells me how I'm the most beautiful and sexiest pregnant lady he's ever seen. You know, he gives me those affirmations. So he is very good at that. Seeds, hello. I wonder if we could rekindle our connection of intimacy with some tantra, as there was betrayal, and I still don't desire him as much anymore. Yeah, absolutely. So there was this practice. Maybe I can find it. DM, if you send me a DM. If you send me a DM. If you send me a message, I'm sure I can dig up this little YouTube practice. And this tantric practice was actually not even like a sexual tantric practice. It was just an intimacy tantric practice. And at the time that we did this 5 years ago, him and I actually hadn't even had lovemaking yet. We hadn't even gone there yet. So I think this actually would be really good for you. So if you want to send me a message, I will try to dig through and find that video. It's just a little YouTube video you guys can do. That would be really good. Okay, all right, getting back on tangent, and then if anyone else is interested in that, that was that. And so overcoming our fears of communication. We talked a lot about that. I'll just leave that where it is. And then introducing ourselves to nonviolent communication. So I'm curious, who is familiar with nonviolent communication? And who has never heard it? Say, I know it, I don't know it. So nonviolent communication is not something, yes, oh, I love it too. So nonviolent communication, if you've never heard of it, is not something that I've come up with. It's not my own thing, but it is probably one of the best practices I have ever put into my life. And so nonviolent communication has 4 components to it. The first component is observation. The second component is feeling. The third component is needs. And the fourth component is requests. And so I'm not going to go into a whole lesson on it right now. It's all in the course if you're interested, or you can look up the book. But by practicing nonviolent communication, it helps us in our relationships. And so practice of nonviolent communication looks like when we are communicating with someone, before we are communicating with someone, we stop. Step 1, we observe. What is happening? What's going on? What do I see? What do I feel? What am I observing around me? And then 2, you're still not speaking. You're checking in with yourself and you're asking yourself, how do I feel? How do I feel about this situation? And then step 3 is you're, again, not yet speaking, but you're asking yourself, what do you need in this situation? What are your needs to feel better? What are your needs to be valued? And then step 4 is you make the request based off of that. So let's use the example of yesterday, okay? So my example of yesterday is, my husband told me that he looked at lingerie, and I paused. I noticed, what did I observe? In that moment, I observed that he was communicating. He was being honest. I observed that there was a part of me that was feeling a little insecure because of my pregnant belly and my pregnant body. I observed that. And then I checked in with, well, Genna, how does this make you feel? How does this feel? And I realized that it wasn't painful. It was kind of neutral, but there was a little, it was like a neutral with a little spike on it of, maybe I feel a little insecure right now. I feel a little insecure about my pregnant body. And then I checked in with, well, what did I need? What do I need in this moment? And what I needed in that moment was to give myself back the power to know that I'm sexy. I needed to give myself back the power to know that I was beautiful. And I needed to know, my need was to know out of curiosity, well, what was turning you on? What was interesting you? What was it about it that, I was curious. I needed the curiosity. So then once I checked in with my observations, my feelings, and my needs, I then made the request by stating all of that. And I don't think I did it exactly like this, but, an example of it would be, I observe, state what you observe. I observe that you're being open and honest with me. Thank you for being open and honest with me. 2, feelings. And I'm feeling a little insecure right now. And what I need is to know that I'm beautiful. And what I need is I'm curious to know what was the lingerie? What turned you on? What is it that you're desiring? And then making the request of, well, how would you feel if we bought me that lingerie right now? When you phrase it like that, there's no spite, there's no shame, there's no make wrong, there's no blaming. It's conscious. And in response, you get a response that you desire. You get a response that you want. So nonviolent communication. And again, you can look all of this up in the course. Beautiful. I love that DM. I did that when I was teaching as well. And then the last piece that I want to touch on is how in conscious communication, it transforms our relationships. It enriches our lives, and it helps us to build better communication. It helps us to build better relationships, and it helps us to actually have a more enriching our lives within ourselves. It makes our life a lot better when we can understand and we can heal and we can vocalize and non-vocalize through deeper forms of communication. And so if this resonated with you, if this helped in any way, it was a little bit of a sneak preview of the course that you can find on my dashboard. It's my new conscious communication course. And it will really serve you. It will really help you in increasing your communication. It will help you to be and have a more enriching life. So let me know in the comments if this helped, if this benefited you. And I want to just take maybe 5 minutes for any questions that you have about anything that I mentioned, anything that I didn't mention, anything that you're curious about. If there's a situation in your life where you're like, oh, I'm having this disagreement with this partner, or I'm having this issue come up and I don't know how to communicate it, I don't know how to vocalize it, then ask me and I can help you to work through it. We'll take about 5 minutes and then I'm going to lead us into a meditation on it. So we would do that. Using I statements has been very helpful. Yes, thank you. And that was another thing that I do mention in the course is framing it from a I feel this, I think this, I need this, I desire this, rather than a you statement. And so often with communication, people use you. You hurt me. You affected me. You didn't do the dishes. You. Reframing out of the you and into the I. Become selfish. Selfish. When you are communicating in your verbal communication, be selfish with how you're feeling, what you need. And then you can open up and be unselfish to hear the other person. But selfishness before unselfishness, if that makes sense. Yes. How would you approach someone that's avoiding a conversation? Yeah, so I would start off by asking them when people avoid a conversation, usually people are avoiding conversation because they have some kind of trauma around communicating. They're scared to speak their truth. They're scared to rock the boat. There's some kind of subconscious feel that is associated with avoiding that conversation. So coming from this place of true love, of first off, understanding deeply what may be triggering the avoidance in the conversation is the first step, is coming at it from understanding and empathy. And then making it known that you are not here to judge, that you are not here to blame, that you are not here to make wrong, but that you are truly here. You are here to heal what they have to say. And that no matter what they say, no matter what they communicate, that your response to their communication will be a response of love. It will be a response of kindness. And when I say your response to love or your response to kindness, it isn't always butterflies and rainbows, what you communicate, but it's standing from this place of sometimes what you have to say comes from a place of firmness, but you can still be firm, you can still be honest, and speak your truth in a loving way. So I would, 1, first understand where they're coming from. Number 2, make it known that you're not here to judge, blame, make wrong, but to truly hear their voice, that you want to know out of curiosity what they're experiencing. And then also making it so maybe you can find out, well, where does this come from? Like, for example, if it's a deep, if this is a stranger on the street, it's not as easy to do this. But if this is a partner, if this is a friend, if this is a family member, digging deep and asking them, where does this come from? Where does this fear of communicating come from? By asking, where in your life did you feel shame to communicate? Where in your life did you feel your voice wasn't allowed or your voice wasn't heard? And by asking that and opening up in intimacy and vulnerability, it gives permission for them to speak their truth because you're asking for them to speak their truth so they know that their voice can be heard. Let me know if that helps. Indeed, Lynn, it's not about attacking the other person. It's also about allowing me to be heard. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for asking that question. Beautiful. I'm so glad that helped everyone. It seems like I came in here right at the right time to ask this. Yes! Not sure what happened, but I can't see any longer, Genna. However, I can hear you. Can everyone see me? Let me know. Can you guys see me? Can you hear me? I can see myself. I have it monitored over here. Yes. Okay. Well, Kiana, let me know if my face comes back because I want you to see this face. GM has a talk with our son about what my husband's going through of stress over a potential new job opportunity and what the triggers in him and why it makes him so on edge and frustrated with how chores are being handled in our home. It's been very difficult. And I recall how that felt when my dad went through something similar when I was a child. We bonded over it and played a game, but weren't able to get my husband to join in. Thank you for sharing, DM. Thank you. This sounded like you were sharing, and it wasn't a question, but that's beautiful. I'm glad that you were able to talk to your son and give him the perspective of what your husband might be going through. And as far as your husband joining in, we can't force anyone to do anything, but we can always encourage. I just noticed my yoga ball just somehow rolled over. I don't know when that did that, but excuse my yoga ball from rolling. But it's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. All right. Does anyone have any final question before I lead us in a meditation? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for phrasing that. So you don't know how to talk to your husband about the effects. Yeah. So I would start by, let me reread what you said. Has a talk with his son. I would start off, DM, by just coming down to curiosity of having a time where you can just ask him, how do you feel? Without shame, without blame, without even mentioning the chores yet, without even mentioning what you feel or you see he's doing wrong. Asking him what he's experiencing. Ask him what it feels like for, this whole potential new job opening. Ask him about his stresses and saying, what does that feel like? I do this to Levi all the time of, what does it feel like to be you right now? What is it like to be you? What are you experiencing? Tell me, what does life look like to you? How are you perceiving life? And getting inside them is going to allow them to have deeper intimacy. What does it feel like to be you? What does life for you look like? And then from that state, then opening up from a place of, I understand that you're feeling insecure. I understand that you have loneliness. I understand that maybe you don't feel loved or understood or whatever it is. And then coming from this place of, and I'm here to support you. Always making it known that I'm here. I got your back. I love you. Even in all disagreements. And then stating how you feel. So where I said before, become selfish and then become selfless, I'm telling you to do the opposite. I would encourage you, I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm encouraging you to do the opposite of being curious about where he's at, what he's feeling, what he's experiencing, and then coming at it from a place of what you are experiencing and coming from a place of what you need in the situation. So what do you need with your son? I could ask how it feels, but I'm so empathetic, I already feel it. I will ask though. It's not about you needing, you already know how he feels. You're not asking because you need to know how he feels. You're asking to open up the lines of communication so that he can start to become vulnerable and expose himself to be comfortable to communicate. Okay, so again, it's not asking so you can know how he's feeling. You're asking to develop deeper intimacy, just like that tantric practice, so that he can feel more comfortable communicating and being open and honest and conscious communication. And then from there, once he feels like he's able to communicate without shame, without blame, without make wrong, then he will, on his own, without being prompted by you, start to communicate more honestly. Then he will start to become vulnerable in his truth and say, hey, I'm feeling really stressed about this new job and I need a break, and, playing a game seems like it would be really fun right now, but I'm not in the headspace. You have to be in the place that he feels comfortable, because he might, I don't know your husband, but he might have those same wounds of communicating. Yeah. Support is key, curious of experience, and then resolution. Yep. Sometimes they are still stuck and not aware of it. Yep. So let me know if that helps. And I'm curious, let me know how it all ends up. Send me a message and let me know how it all ends up for you. All right, everyone. So thank you. I'm grateful for you. I appreciate you. Thank you for all of your feedback. Same wounds. We'll check back in later. Beautiful. Yeah, and that goes for everyone. Please reach out to me. My inbox is always open. You can always reach out to me here on Insight Timer, or you can find me on any social media platform, Genna Rose Giannetti, or, my website, Genna Rose Giannetti. You can send me an email, though. And I'm always open to hear your feedback. I'm always open to hear what you're going through. I'm here to support you. One thing is, one of my biggest concerns and wounds of this whole coaching industry is that everyone wants money now to give support. And obviously I charge for coaching and I have programs and packages and all that as well. But I'm never going to charge someone for sending me a message and say, hey, I'm going through this. Can you help? Can you support me? Can you give me a real quick word of advice? Because there's not enough support in this world. Now, of course, if the conversation, drags on for days or weeks or something, and it's something, I might say, hey, let's think about doing some actual one-on-one coaching. But I'm never going to turn someone away when you need help. So I want to make that known that if you need something, I'm here. And if I can help, I will. And if I can't and I don't know the answer, I will look for the answer. And if I can't find the answer, or I'm not the right person to answer your question or help in your situation, I will refer you to someone that I know is able to do that. Or I will simply say, I don't know anyone, but I will always help with where I can. So, I really appreciate all of you guys. It really does come back to communication, and I appreciate all of you guys' support and you being here. And so always reach out. If you're not yet following me, please make sure to follow. Donations are never expected. They're always appreciated. If you're interested in working with me further, I have a couple new programs. I have a new program. You can always just check out the link in my description for all of my ongoing stuff. And I'm going to lead us in a meditation now. So if you are leaving and you're not staying for the meditation, thank you so much for joining. This has been so great. Check out the Conscious Communication course. And if you are staying, then beautiful. I will see you on the other side. All right, so I'm going to start to play some music, get a little drink of water. Thank you. I know that you are loved and you are wanted and you are needed. My nose is itchy. You know, my mom used to always tell me that when your nose itches, it means you're going to kiss a fool. All right, guys, here we go. And I do record all of my lives, and I also record all of my meditations. So at the end, I will do a little bit of, I will do an introduction at the beginning, and then I will do a conclusion at the end to end the meditation for the audio recording that will go back on Insight Timer. So don't leave at the end of the meditation. Just know that's part of the recording. Here we go. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome. Welcome to today's beautiful conscious communication meditation. In today's meditation, I'm going to help to guide you in speaking your truth, honoring your authentic voice, and coming into more conscious communication. So when you are ready, I ask you to start to close down your eyes, always making sure that you're in a spot where you will not be disturbed. And start to focus on your breath, breathing into your breath and breathing out. Starting to open up the very lines of communication. With every breath, opening and expanding your vocal cords. And with every exhale, releasing any fear or blockages of speaking your truth. Breathing into this moment, into present awareness, and letting go of anything that's not serving you. Setting your intention for this meditation, the intention to come into more conscious communication. To speak your truth, to be vulnerable in your voice, to come into authentic self, to communicate more effectively, to become more conscious in your communication, to harmonize your words and to find more peace in your language. Whatever your intention is, make the intention now. And breathe in. And breathe out. And start to imagine a beautiful blue light out in the distance. And see this blue light as your light of conscious communication. See this blue light as your voice, as your truth, as your authentic expression. And notice that this blue light is outside of you. Maybe it's gotten lost or forgotten. But allow yourself now to invite this blue light, your voice, your truth, your authentic expression, back into your being, back into your own sense of soul, spirit, and body. See this blue light becoming closer and closer. Breathing into this blue light and breathing out this blue light. And as you breathe in this blue light, imagine and feel in every cell, every atom, every molecule of your body, of your being, of your soul, of your spirit, this blue light penetrating, healing, reviving, and circulating. Feel and imagine this blue light shining down on you like a beautiful sun, melting away any fears of communicating your truth, melting away any judgment of your voice and your truth. Allow this blue light to now activate from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, into your vocal cords, into your heart, into your mind, into your gut, into the steps that you take. Truth, honesty, openness, expression, authenticity in every cell, in every atom, in every molecule of your being. Feel this activation penetrating into you, changing you, up-leveling you. Allow this blue light to fill up all of your being as you are glowing like a beautiful star. You are becoming the blue light that is illuminating the world around you. Activate your truth. Allow the codes to come, to penetrate. And allow whatever feelings, emotions, anything that you're experiencing to just be there. If there's any memories from your past arising, allow them to be there. And allow yourself now a few moments in your own silence to heal your voice, to heal your truth, and to activate deeper communication. This may look like you going back to your inner child, communicating with your inner child that they are heard, allowing you to speak and to heal the truth of little you. Healing the past parts of you that were told that you should not speak. Healing and going back to the parts of you, the times in your life where you were shamed or blamed or made wrong for being open, for being honest, for speaking truth. And telling that version of you that you now, as this version of you, are open to healing them. This may look like you speaking an affirmation to yourself, such as, I trust my voice. My voice is beautiful and deserves to be heard. Speaking, I speak my authentic truth, fearlessly and courageously. This could look like penetrating this blue light deeper into your throat chakra, deeper into your vocal cords, visualizing your vocal cords opening and expanding. Take this time now to do what feels best for you in this moment. There is no right or wrong way to heal, to activate, to shift, to change. Allow the music to guide you deeper and deeper into healing, into activation of higher states of consciousness. And take the last few moments now to finalize anything else that you need in this meditation. Maybe calling upon a guide to assist you, asking for an answer. And take a deep breath in through your throat and out through your mouth with a big sigh. Taking another deep breath in through your nose and exhaling with a sigh. Allowing your vocal cords, your truth, your voice, your sound to be heard without shame. Breathing in and exhaling with sound. Doing that 2 more times, coming back into your body. Breathing in this blue light. Exhaling. And last one with sound. Breathing in. And big exhale out. Know that your voice deserves to be heard. Know that your truth needs to be said. Know that your authentic expression is respected and honored by the world. In a world where so many are not authentic, choose to step into authenticity. Breathe in and breathe out. Coming back into your body now as a new being. Feeling every cell, every atom, every molecule of your being completely renewed, upgraded, up-leveled. Wiggling your fingers and your toes, bringing life back into the body. Notice what you hear. Notice what you taste. Notice what you smell. Notice what you feel. And when you're ready, if you haven't so already, opening up your eyes and notice what you can see. Welcome back, beautiful souls. Welcome back. I hope that you feel more of your own authentic self. May you find your truth. May you speak your truth. May you honor your own honesty. May you come into more conscious communication with yourself, with others, and the world around you. Let me know in the comments what you experienced, what you felt, any feedback you have. All feedback is great feedback. Thank you so much for joining me today in this conscious communication meditation to help you to speak your truth, to be vulnerable and open and honest and authentic in your voice. I love you. I hear you. I see you. And I appreciate you. Have a beautiful day. All right. Hello, 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 everyone. We are back. We are back. We are back. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. Let me know any feedback you have on the meditation, on the talk, on the discussion. Like I said, all feedback is good feedback. If you enjoyed that meditation will go back on my dashboard. So that will be open to the public. That won't be a premium audio. That will just be a normal free audio for anyone. And I am just so grateful. I'm truly, truly grateful. I have a humble heart right now. I really appreciate you. My baby and my tummy appreciates you. They've been moving throughout the whole meditation. They say, hello, little love. We're calling the baby Love right now. And I'm due in April. And I'm really, really excited. And I'm excited to infuse this little love with deeper communication and deeper consciousness. And I just really, really want to thank you guys for your support and your love and your feedback and your communication. And thank you for communicating. And whether you wrote in the comments today or you didn't, I want you to know that I see you and I hear you and I appreciate you. So if this was your first time with me and you haven't been with me before and this was impactful for you, please make sure to hit the follow button. I have a group here on Insight Timer, Love Lights, Genna Rose Giannetti. You can join that group. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, feedback, anything. If you enjoyed this and you're interested in learning more about me and what I do and working with me, you can always check out my website, Genna Rose Giannetti, for all of my offerings, or just send me a message. If this was worth your time and this was valuable and this was worthy of you, then donations are always appreciated, never expected. They help us, teach us to keep going, keep motivating, keep encouraging, and it's beautiful. So thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. So let's end this live, but never end the love. So I'm going to ask you to let's close out by closing down our eyes one final time. And take a deep breath in through your nose. And take a deep breath out through your mouth. Know that if you enjoyed this today, you can check out my new course, my new Harmonizing Your Words Conscious Communication course, to better help you and to guide you. And just bring yourself back to how we started. With all 100 people that are on this live right now, imagine that we are all gathered together in a beautiful circle of over 100 people right now. Are here ready to hear your voice, to hear your truth. Feel this support and this love and this community that we've created together. And give gratitude to it. And just reflect for a moment now how you feel now versus how you felt when you joined the live. Notice what changed and what shifted in you. And breathe into that. Give gratitude for that. And exhale. And whether you are feeling much better or much worse, allow yourself to be wherever you're at, knowing that deep healing took place today. Deep codes were activated into your being. Shifts have been made. Changes have been done. So give yourself the gentle kindness that you need. And take one more deep breath in. And one more deep breath out. And just place your hand on your heart. And just say, release, release, release. always releasing ourselves from every single transition and opening up our eyes and setting our intention as we move forward with the rest of our day. Thank you so much for joining. And just a side note, if anyone's familiar with Brendan Bashar, I read his book last year, and one of the parts in his book I now implement every day in my life. And he talks about transitions in our day and how the hardest part of our day, and especially anyone who's a mother or who has been around children, you know that transitions are often the most difficult part for a child and even us as an adult. And so in every transition, meaning like we're about to transition out of this life and you're about to transition into whatever you're about to do, releasing where you're at right now by just releasing, saying release, having gratitude for this moment, and then setting intention as you move forward. And you can do this throughout your day. It's a mindfulness tip that you can use whenever you go about your day. So you wake up in the morning, you're transitioning out of bed, you're releasing that good night's sleep, you give gratitude for that good night's sleep, and then you set intention of, okay, I intend to have a good meditation practice. And then you leave the bed and maybe your next activity is you go into meditation. And you set your intention of, okay, I'm going to have a great meditation. And then you get out of meditation and you give gratitude for the meditation, and then you release the meditation. And maybe the next thing you need to do is the dishes. And so your intention is, I will get the dishes done. It doesn't have to be a big thing. And so then you go downstairs and you get the dishes done. You get done doing the dishes, you release doing the dishes, and you set intention of, okay, I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm going to binge watch Netflix all day. My intention is to really enjoy the TV show and go about your day like that. And it makes you more conscious of your actions. So anyways, I love you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining. Kiss, 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 kiss. Check out the new course, and I will see you guys next Monday. It is my intention to go live with you guys now every single Monday. So, bye guys.